Welcome to the KariClub.com. My name is Minesh. This month we are making Malai Murgh. It's a beautiful marinated chicken in roasted garam masala with a mint and black tea as a little twist to give you a different flavour. We're making this with spinach pea rasedar and Basmati rice, which is tempered with cinnamon, cloves and cumin seeds, and a beautiful onion and tomato laccha salad. As it's half term, there's nothing better than involving the kids to do the preparation. It engages them with the flavours, it engages them with the final product, and it gets them more likely to eat it with a bit more gusto. So we're going to start with the marinade. So the purpose of piercing the chicken with a fork is just to allow the marinade to really soak into the chicken, and the kids are doing a good job. Make sure you do it all the way through. Okay, next we're going to just do a little squeeze of lime and a dash of salt. So rub all the salt and lime into the chicken, turn it over. Make sure all that salt and lime is in the chicken. And this really helps the flavours take into the chicken. While the salt and lime is in the chicken, we can then go on to making our marinade. And ideally, we would like to leave it overnight. Why do you think we need to leave it overnight, kids?
To soak in.
And?
To make more flavour.
Good. Right, so we're going to get on with our marinade. We've got roughly about 100 grams of really good quality thick Greek yoghurt that Zane is stirring here. We've got some garlic and ginger paste which we've blitzed up, so Amara's going to put that into there while Zane's stirring. And give it a nice stir. That's it, lovely. So next we're putting in our spices. So we've got mint and black tea, roughly about 3 teaspoons, and in there we've ground some coriander powder as well. Give that a lovely mix. So next we have a teaspoon of chili powder that goes in. And I have to stress that marinating overnight will make a huge difference to your chicken. Obviously, if you're running out of time, 1 hour is minimal. You'll really know the difference. So included in this recipe is a really lovely roasted garam masala. Now, the powdered garam masala that you buy off the street doesn't compare to the fresh ones that we're going to be roasting for you.
What's garam masala?
So garam masala means it's a warm spice or hot spice. So masala is a spice and garam just means hot. So we'll start off with some cinnamon bark. Pop that in, please, into the pan. Take a couple of black cardamom. Oops, there you go, take a couple of black cardamom. Perfect, put those in. Now we're going to go to some green cardamom. Okay, in those go.
What does this do?
So this roasts the spices and really releases the oils. Put some coriander seeds in there, darling. That's it, in it goes. Perfect.
Why do you want to release
And then
oil?
fennel seeds. So we're releasing the flavour of them, so they become a lot tastier.
Flavourful.
Mm-hmm. So Zane, just shake it up a little bit. Can you see a haze coming off? Not yet? A white, sort of almost like a white smoke.
Yeah, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah.
So I can smell the spices already. Now we're going to blend it into a powder with a little coffee grinder or a flat blender. Okay. Okay, let's have a look. So have a little smell of these. They smell nice?
Yeah.
Okay, now take a little gentle breath in.
Why?
I'll show you why. Okay, ready?
Is it too strong? Wow. It smells a bit like chocolate.
Exactly.
My nose.
Okay, so now we're just putting that fresh roasted garam masala into the mix, giving it a good old mix. Rub all that lovely marinade in. And Amara, you do yours.
My holes are closed now.
Sorry, rub all that lovely marinade in back into there. That's it. Smells lovely. While the chicken's marinating, we can begin our spinach pea rasedar. Really simple, coconut milk, spinach and some spices. First of all, we're just going to put the cumin seeds in, let them sizzle. In go our red onions. So the onions have been cooking for a few minutes now and they're nice and soft. Okay, so now we put our lovely plum tomatoes in. And leave these for a few minutes. You'll know when they're ready because the tomatoes and onions form like a paste. You won't see the difference between the onions and tomatoes. Once they're at that stage, they're ready to put the powdered spices in. So you mustn't put the powdered spices in before the onions are cooked because you'll never get the spices cooked properly or the onions to cook properly. So the onions and tomatoes have been cooking down for a few minutes and you can see that the tomatoes have almost disappeared into the mix. We're now safe to put our powdered spices in, which goes in turmeric, a bit of coriander powder. Make sure the spinach is washed. We got lovely loose leaf spinach in your boxes, and they're not packed in any plastic bags, they're just loose. Give them a wash and then just give them a bit of a chop. You don't need to chop it too finely, but you want to help the blender. Now we're going to blitz this with garlic, green chilies and fresh ginger. And we're going to almost make like a lovely soup, which we're going to add to the tomato and onion paste. So we're just going to blitz this down with a bit of coconut milk. You'll probably have to do this in stages. So garlic, ginger, green chili, pinch of salt. We've got some wonderful fresh leaf spinach, coconut milk, garlic, ginger, fresh green chilies. Have a smell of that. Lovely. So in goes our lovely puree. So in go our peas. So when you take the roasted fenugreek out of the packet, which is supplied in the box, just give it a rub between your palms to release the aromas. And finally, to finish, just a squeeze of lime. So just going to slice the red onion quite finely and just going to put it in cold water for a few minutes. So this is called a laccha salad. It's red onion, tomato, squeeze of lime, a little bit of fresh coriander, pinch of salt. So with the tomato, just quarter them, then take out the inside, leaving just the flesh. We really want the nice sort of firm part of the tomato. We don't want the sort of all the moisture in there. And then here you can just finely slice. You don't want to waste these bits, so just roughly chop them and put them in the spinach pea rasedar. Squeeze a lime. Pinch of salt. And then just some coriander. Now alternatively, a lot of people like to use this as quite a spicy side salad, so you can put some very finely sliced green chilies in if you wish. But generally this is quite a nice little side to go with your main meal. So we're just going to put our chicken in. Now one little tip is if you've left it in the fridge overnight to marinade, bring it out about an hour to bring up to room temperature. That will help the moistness of the chicken inside. If you cook it straight from the fridge to the oven, it will dry out a little bit inside. 200 degrees, 20 minutes, or until it's cooked. So it should be firm to the touch and no pinkness inside. So we're using premium aged basmati rice. So first thing we're going to do is to put a big pot of water on with a little bay leaf in, pinch of salt, let that boil while we wash our rice. So take room temperature water, and you be very gentle with the grains. You don't want to close your fist in it. You literally just want to pass the water through. Rinse it out. Pour the water out. And do that again. And you do this, repeat this about 6 or 7 times until the water's much clearer. Okay, so our rice is all washed. Our water's boiling. Just put the rice into the water. So when you pick up the grains, you can see that they're nice and loose, they're floating to the top of the pan.
If you've washed the rice properly, you'll see that you can see the grains in there. You can just pick up a grain and literally break it, and it should be about ready. So it's been about 6 minutes now, so we're not far away from putting it into the colander. Make sure all the water's strained out. Just take a fork and gently release that steam. So if you've got quite a lot of rice, so you're cooking for 4 people or more, it's really essential to put it into a flat dish to stop it overcooking. It remains really nice and fluffy. So just spread out that lovely rice. So we're just going to finish with tempering the rice, a little bit of oil. You can add some butter if you'd like, which is optional. And then put in your tempering. So we've got cumin seeds, some cloves, a little stick of cinnamon. Now the cinnamon will give it a lot of flavour, but you can obviously take the cinnamon out of the rice once you eat it. But if you fry the cinnamon off in the butter and oil mix, you'll flavour the butter basically. So just to summarise, we did a beautiful Malai Murgh with a whole breast of chicken in a marinade of yoghurt, garam masala. We've got that beautiful mint and black tea, some garlic and ginger and some other spices. We've made a really simple spinach pea rasedar with coconut milk, garlic and ginger, fresh leaf spinach, and then some toasted fenugreek. Basmati rice just tempered with a bit of cinnamon, cumin and cloves, and a really light red onion and laccha salad just tossed with a bit of lime, salt and fresh coriander. Thank you for cooking with the Kari Club. I really hope you've been enjoying these recipes. Next month will be a very interesting vegan recipe, so please stay tuned. Thank you.